Norse specialist Dr. Jackson Crawford. I teach at the University of Colorado Boulder, previously at UC Berkeley and UCLA. Today, for my topic, I'm going to take family vocabulary in Old Norse. As I've alluded to many times on this channel, Old Norse and English are very closely related languages, so it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that the basic words for basic family members are often nearly identical. I probably don't even need to translate fadir and modir, or their children sonur and dóttir, or the relations of sonur to dóttir, bróðir and systir, respectively. Like I said, closely related languages. You might even call Old Norse a systir of Old English. So, beyond that, of course, some of the words are a little bit more interesting and variable. There's a lot of poetic or archaic words for son. Beyond just sonur, you'll see bur and mogur, especially often in poetry. You see words for the parents collectively, which is feðgin, but also, curiously, father and son considered as a pair, that's feðgar, and mother and daughter considered as a pair, that's møðgar. Something I don't think English has any equivalent to. But what's kind of curious is that beyond this basic nuclear family, the words get a lot vaguer pretty fast. Grandfather is avi, grandmother is amma, and according to the poem Ríkstula, great-grandfather would be oi, and great-grandmother edda, possibly the source of the title Edda for the poetic and prose Edda collections. But these words aren't actually used, to my knowledge, outside of poetry, so they might not have been in common use. And it's unlikely that in the Middle Ages or earlier, people really knew their great-grandparents very often. Other terms you see use long as a prefix, so longfather would be a distant paternal ancestor, possibly great-grandfather and up. Similarly, longmóðir for great-grandmother and up. And there's also, of course, curiously, langfeðgar, which looks like it should mean long father and son, but means like distant ancestors in general. In the context of present relatives, most male relatives outside the nuclear family are simply called frendi, which is related to the English word friend. It comes from a root frjó, to love. Well, that's the verb that's formed from the same root. The name Frigg of Odin's wife is also from the same root. And then the feminine equivalent of that is frænka. This can mean cousin, it can mean uncle, it can mean aunt, it can mean nephew and niece. It can also just be a very friendly way for men to address one another as frendi. It does not, however, mean someone who's not related to you. When a man calls a man who's not related to him frendi, it's implying there's some kind of relationship. There's also words for in-laws like mogur, male in-law, and mogkona, female in-law. This mog root has to do with in-law relations. There's also a later form of these with the root tengda, prefix tengda father, so father-in-law, tengda sister, sister-in-law. There's also a special word for mother-in-law, sværa. And then for any female relation, there is a special word, nift, which doesn't seem to mean any specific female relation, but just a woman who's related to you. The relations by fosterage were very important in Old Norse, so you will see words like fóstbróðir for foster brother, fóstsystir, fóstmóðir, and then there's fóstri, which can mean either foster father or foster son. It's a way of talking about either one, and which one you mean depends on which one you're referring to and which one you are in a relationship to that person. And then there are the words of relations by marriage, which are formed with the word siv, which of course is the name of Thor's wife too. This is an old word for relations. You see in Völuspá when we read about Ragnarok and how humans are going to be treating each other terribly. That Sivingar know that relations will break the Sivjar, the relationships. So a Sivi is a man who's a relationship by marriage, or Siver and then Siv Kona for a woman who's a relation to you by marriage. So that's a basic look at the words for family in Old Norse. I hope this has been somewhat interesting or informative for you, and I hope you'll check out some of my other videos, or my Patreon if you want to help me make these videos, or my translations of the Poetic Edda and the Saga of the Volsungs. For now, from beautiful Colorado, I'm wishing you all the best.